to be successful now, you have to put out a lot of content, which is 5 stories to 7 stories a day, which is 1 post per day, which is a reel, which is a video, which is harder than a picture. And when I was in a job, people don't want to get up an extra hour early to just post for an hour. Tonight we are going to be going to my friend Michael Venom Page, who is an MMA kind of star in Bellator, watch party. So we're off down to Ladbroke Grove, so quick change back home, and then we are off.
Off to podcast. How do you feel about speaking? Have you done many podcasts before?
Yeah, I've done quite a few podcasts in the past. I kind of, in my head, just see them as kind of the lead up to the bigger podcasts, you know, where you end up going on like Stephen Bartlett and start crying and all that. So yeah, all these little ones, I just see it as like a good way to just, I guess, practice and just get comfortable in front of a camera and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I do like to kind of, I guess, share the story, and like I said, it's more about just more eyeballs on kind of what I'm doing. So the person, whoever I'm podcasting with, will obviously put that on their channel, and that's a new audience we can get to.
Nice. And how do you feel about today's podcast? Do you know like what the theme is for it or anything?
I don't know exactly what the theme is. I'd be lying if I said I did, but I do know that it's about people that have got kind of extraordinary stories, and all those kind of bits. So I think it's quite a variety of people that go on this podcast. I think it's still fairly new, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of comes of it. But ultimately, Natalie, who's the lady whose podcast it is, she just seemed really nice. And I think there's something about that if they care, sometimes even if it's a smaller podcast, it's worth doing, just because you know that they may actually maybe put a bit of spend into it, or they'll put more effort into promoting it. So that's the reason, and for the sake of an hour, I think it's time well spent. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
How are things?
Thank you, really good.
Let me give you a hug. How are things?
Oh, really cool. Welcome to Yellow and Blue Rose.
It's the setup. Let's do it.
Take a seat. How long would you consider yourself to have been outside of your comfort zone?
I mean, literally since coming out of university, to be fair, because prior to doing the art, I was a TV producer. Even though that's a bit more secure than, say, becoming an artist, you're still, every time you finish one show, you're then looking for another job. So there's no like steady income, or you know you'll earn a set amount this month or whatever. So
TV production, so in front of the camera or helping being creative?
Behind the camera, TV producer for 10 years, something like that, yeah.
Oh, did you get to work on any big shows? Did you get to meet lots of big people, big names?
Weirdly enough, all of that feeds into kind of how I've managed to grow a platform today. So yes, in answer to that, I did get to meet some I guess, influential people, and some people with some big followings and that kind of thing. I worked on X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, I'm Gonna Get Me Out of Here, The Apprentice. I was lucky enough to do quite a few of the big ones.
And was you being creative then? Was you kind of behind the scenes doing art at that time? Was it something you picked a paintbrush up at that point?
No. But to be fair, because like I said, because TV is a freelance game, and so once you finish one show, there's a gap usually, unless you can line it up nicely. I was always doing stuff on the side just because I like to be busy and have like a bit of a side hustle. And so I tried a lot of other stuff. I tried a social media agency, I tried a jeans company, tried to get into the property thing, but you need a lot of money.
Oh my goodness.
But nothing really stuck until I started with the art.
I value that arena of the gallery as such. Is that something you would like to be doing more of?
This is not a disrespectful comment, it just doesn't really make sense to me. As soon as they started talking about taking 50%, it just doesn't make
sense. So you are business minded with your art now, you would say?
It's business first before the art, I would say. A lot of what I want to do is like commercial deals and kind of bigger stuff. But going forward, the paintings I do could take quite a long time. And to be able to get to the level I want to get to, I need to be able to produce paintings quicker. And so I'm going to a much more kind of simplified style, but more striking. So I'll be able to do more collaborations, get more reach, in turn get more sales, is the way that I'm looking at it.
Do you feel like you've got a responsibility now using YouTube and things like that to help do that?
The two things, I think if I could answer it like that, the problem is that you can tell someone how to do something, but if you don't want to do the work, to do the thing, I can tell you the answer a million times, but if you don't do it, it's never going to work. And so the problem a lot of people have when they message me is that I'm obviously a social media artist, and the volume, Dan, cameraman, he knows the amount of volume that we're trying to do, like in terms of putting out content. Like, to be successful now, you have to put out a lot of content, which is 5 stories to 7 stories a day, which is 1 post per day, which is a reel, which is a video, which is harder than a picture.
Yeah.
1 LinkedIn post, 1 YouTube every 2 weeks. That's going to be going up to 1 a week, and that will increase more. 2 or 3 TikToks per day. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that is what it takes. And when I was in a job, people don't want to get up an extra hour early to just post for an hour.
Same
it takes that long.
working out, isn't it? Because there's not enough hours, but you
Yeah.
can get up at 5 a.m. if you really want to and go for a walk and
how
see the
badly do you
sunrise.
want it?
Yeah, have
Yeah.
that kind of thinking time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've said it actually. I'm going to be going from portraits to popular culture items. So like
Oh my goodness!
Reese's Pieces jar, or like Oreos. What do you call it? Biscuits or whatever. You know, that kind of thing, and stuff that I think will be quite fun to have on your wall.
Because that used to be done, I'm going back maybe 30, 40, that was a Campbell's soup. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'll be doing.
So this is like a 2023
Take it.
twist on that.
Because
Because no one's doing that right now. I like that. That's
Exactly,
funny.
and you can produce that quickly, and I also can add my flick, so my own style to that, and that's kind of where I see.
Are you talking to anyone about that right now? Have you told any kind of potential buyers that you're thinking of doing this?
No, I mean, this is the first time. Weirdly enough, yesterday I had a call from a company called Fresh Eco Kid, which is like a streetwear brand, and they want me to do a collab where I flick paint at some of their hats, and they're going to do like a limited run and stuff like that. So, but that's what I mean, that kind of stuff. If you can produce stuff quickly, that is the kind of stuff that's there. People don't want to wait ages.
Thank you so much.
You have to send me. You have to send me that.
I'm going to. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have
See
a
ya.
good day. Bye.
See ya. Oh my god, that literally went so good. She was so nice, and I feel like we got some like nice, genuine content. So she made me like kind of really feel at ease and stuff. So I feel like that's where you kind of get the most like candid version, I guess, of someone. So that was nice. But more importantly, we've got an event tonight, so I just need to go home, do a little quick change, and then we're off to that tonight. So this evening is actually a little bit of an exciting one. We are at my friend's Michael Venom Page's watchers party. So a good opportunity to kind of like network, obviously catch up, support and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I'm gonna show you a little bit around and yeah, see how it goes. This event is going so good. Like, to be fair, I love coming to this kind of stuff just because it's like, it's nice obviously to come and support first and foremost, but it's also such a good opportunity to like network, meet new people, and everyone here seems so cool. I'm like, Mez is trying to keep up out here, so yeah, it's going good, and I'm going to try and get myself back in there. It is mad how these things work, like, as if Marlon's here. I feel like, it feels like a circle, like once you're, I'm trying to get into the circle, I'm still trying to break in. But yeah, like coming to these things is good. So you see, see Marlon, but also like you see other people like that. So more of these to come, fingers crossed. I feel like tonight couldn't have gone any better, and I'm just pleased that so many people come out to support Michael. So I'm just really pleased for him, and it's just been a really nice night. I feel like it's only right that I finally do a studio tour. Welcome. It has been like a bit of an evolution, and sometimes I take it for granted. When you see the kind of scale that I was working on to like now, we've come a long way. Today we are off to go and see Erin Bird. She's invited me to her show, Wrapped in Light. My philosophy is that you show people who you are, people buy into you and your personality and what you're trying to do. And I think that sounds like exactly what you've been doing as well.